Salutations, my Fallout lovers. It is Matty here today, bringing you some Fallout 4 DLC speculation. Now, before anything, be sure to check out the link in the description of my previous video that has my analysis on the bridge concept art that we got for Fallout 4 last week. Anyways, in an interview, Pete Hines said that Bethesda is conceptualizing ideas for Fallout 4 DLC, but their full attention is still on the full game. Now, while I have an excuse to talk about DLC, I'm going to do so. In my opinion, the special part about Fallout DLC is the location, and so today I'm here to present to you 3 areas I feel Fallout 4 DLC should take place in. Starting off with the first location, New York City, baby. New York City. Alright, I'm relatively close to the city and can personally vouch that a Fallout DLC in New York City would be pretty sweet. Regardless though of my personal bias, there are too many lore confusions when it comes to New York as a whole that I think making DLC here is basically crucial in order to clear things up. Most of the Fallout community assumes that this place is now a crater, but that's just a rumor that's spread like wildfire. The only knowledge we have of New York City is that during the pre-war era, it was home to the United Nations until they disbanded, and that this is our only look at it. A screenshot from the intro of Fallout Tactics, a semi-canon Fallout game. It is also close enough to Boston where it wouldn't be much of a stretch for the player to make his or her way there, because if the Lone Wanderer can take a rail cart from the Capital Wasteland to the pit, I think it's plausible enough to imagine that the sole survivor could find his way to New York City. An obvious focus in the Fallout franchise is landmarks, and New York City has a few to boot, such as Times Square, Grand Central Station, Statue of Liberty, and the Empire State Building. Just to name a few, this place is chock full of awesome locations. This next location was inspired by an interview with the classic Fallout developers in which they said Miami, Florida would be a cool place to have another Fallout game, and I agree. So some of the potential ideas I have for Miami, Florida spread the area quite thin, but bear with me in terms of this location's potential. The Gulf Commonwealth, as the Fallout Wiki called it at least, was going to appear in the cancelled Fallout 2 Tactics, with Bethesda focusing mainly on the East Coast when it comes to both their Fallout games and DLC. Aside from Mothership Zeta, I think this would be a good fit in that sense. I gotta be honest, as for cool landmarks and areas, Miami isn't full of the iconic ones like New York is. There is a neat area here and there, but nothing crazy like other areas where we could see the transformation of certain landmarks before and after the Great War. What I feel would be different about Miami compared to other Fallout locations is its potential to use the ocean. It would give off a different aesthetic and atmosphere compared to other Fallout games that I feel would set it apart in a unique fashion. A paradise full of beautiful water, beaches, glass buildings, and palm trees now turned to nothing. What has come of it? I'd absolutely love to find out. Also, as for the protagonist making his way to Miami, Florida, as well as the next location I'm going to pitch to all of you, I took into account the addition of the vertibird in Fallout 4. This will likely be a seamless and obvious way for us to travel out of state for DLC. My third and final location idea is this is a stretch but it could totally work location. Toronto. I know, it's out of the United States, I get it, but look at that. It's as close as it can get, okay? I understand completely as a diehard Fallout fan the importance of an Americana/nationalism feel for a Fallout game, but I figured I'd just jumble it up a little bit. I mean, it's always been in the United States. Everyone's wondering what's happened out of the United States, and we have very little info on that. Regardless, here's why I feel this area would be fantastic. First, in regards to the lore, Toronto is now referred to as Ronto, which we learned during the Pit DLC. During Asher's speech to the slaves, he claims that his industry is the envy of the Commonwealth, Capital Wasteland, and Ronto. Obviously, we have seen 2 of these areas, but what of the third? Apparently, Ronto is an established military power. It'd be super interesting to find out what's going on with that. Also, as I've stated before in all the other locations, landmarks. Toronto is full of really cool ones that I think could be transformed into something great after the bombs fell. When looking at areas such as the CN Tower, Casa Loma, the Royal Ontario Museum, and even the home to the Toronto Blue Jays Rogers Center, all just fills me with excitement when thinking about them being reimagined in the Fallout universe. Also, at night, this place is gorgeous. I know it's a stretch like I said, but I just think this would be such a cool area with the established lore and just curiosity I have for this area. But those are my 3 location ideas for Fallout 4's DLC. Do you guys agree with me? Do you think these are some good locations, or would you have any better suggestions? Let me know in the comments down below on SugarBombed and on Twitter. My social media links will be down below. Be sure to follow me and like me there. Other than that, stay sexy, stay active. I love you all. Peace.